Hi, it is Quilting Mom, and we are going to do the beginning of our quilt today. If you joined me in the first quilt, you would have seen the supplies that you needed. This is for beginner quilters and for experienced quilters to do it along with me just for the fun. This is the quilt we're doing. It's called Blueberry Hill. Now, I'm not going to make it in blues. That's the great thing about quilting. You do it in your own colors and fabrics that you like. So anyone can do this, and it's great fun. Now, if you've never quilted, you're going to need to go back and watch the first one so you know what kind of things you need to do for quilting. If you're an experienced quilter, you already have just about everything. So you will not need to do that. You will need to make this quilt a jelly roll and a yard of fabric. You will later need batting, backing, all that stuff, but we will do that later. But to start off, just to do the quilt top, you need a jelly roll, which is 40 2.5 wide strips. They're not always called the jelly roll. They have them in flat packages too. Different companies call them by different names, but if you ask anyone in a quilting store or Joann or something what a jelly roll is, they will know what you mean. So my package just happened to come in a flat package, and I got it years ago. It fell apart, so I have it in like a big pile of pieces all the way off to the side. So what you're going to do first is get yourself ready and comfortable. Have your iron ready. You're going to be doing that. Have your sewing machine threaded and your bobbin in and everything prepared, and get comfortable. Now, on your cutting mat, some people like to do this standing up. I like to do it sitting down. But you do want to make sure that you're in a comfortable enough level so you can then put pressure with your right or left arm, whichever you use for cutting. You're able to go at a nice downward angle. So we're going to make it this right here. This is what it's going to look like. And we're going to start that right now. Okay. So what I'm doing, because in a jelly roll, all the fabrics are going to be different, which makes it fun. So what I'm going to do is do my next one. So I did those with green. So you'll have like two darker ones on the outside and the lighter one on the inside, or two lighter on the outside and lighter on the inside. Okay. If you purchased this glow tape, which is not a necessary thing for quilting, but it's nice. I don't remember the exact name of it, so if there's any experienced quilters that remember what the heck this stuff is called, please chime in with a comment below. It's pretty neat. It sticks really well. And this doesn't ruin your ruler. You take it off and there's no residue. That's what I like about it. So, and you can take it off and move it a couple of times. So where you're going to actually place this is right on the 8.5 wide line. Right there. The line's right there, and I'm going to place it right there so that I know when I'm cutting, I'm not going to cross this line right here. The first thing that you're going to do, hold on, we're going to make sure that you can see. Is you're going to cut off the selvage here. And the selvage is that little part at the end that has no color. So you're going to want to cut the selvage. You can cut several layers at the same time. You just need a sharper blade on your rotary cutter. So push down on your ruler to give it some pressure, and you just take that selvage off and you throw it away. One thing selvage is good for, they don't have it in jelly rolls, but if you buy yard portions of fabric, the selvage will always show you coordinating fabric colors, and that is extremely useful. So this is great. I already know where to go because of that line on my ruler. I'm going to have that flush with the bottom of the fabric where to cut, and I'm going to make sure that I'm going at a straight line. So again, I'm going to put some pressure down there and cut all the way through. If it doesn't go through, I cut it again, trying not to shift my fabric. So since I've got so much, I'm going to cut that some more because we want to use all the fabric that we cut. All right. And then we want, take that way, 6.5 on the ends. Hold on, I'm going to flatten it down because we do have a little bit of a ceiling. There you go. So that's going to be cut at 6.5 wide. But the great thing is, I know that that's at least 6.5 wide, so I don't really need to cut it. And I'll show you why. That's why I can even it out. So take your, if you're doing darks on the outside and lights on the inside, you're going to take your light first, your first dark, and you're going to lay that right sides together. And make sure they are flush. The edges right up against each other. Smooth them out. There you go. Make sure they fit. Take a pin. Now, I know a lot of quilters, they pin this way. I don't really like pinning that way. It's really what you feel comfortable with. All right. So I just want to pin it enough just so that I know that it's not going to move. And I can do a couple at a time. Now when I'm doing this myself, I'm probably going to do several at a time. But I kind of just want to show you the gist of this. And sometimes the fabric moves around a little bit. You got to just put it back there. All right. Now, one thing important when you are quilting, you are going to want to make sure that you have a foot with a 1/4 inch seam. Hold on. You have a foot with a 1/4 inch seam. If you do not, you can always measure out from where it sews and make a mark at the 1/4 inch. So get to know your sewing machine so you're comfortable with it. It's easy to practice on just little scrap pieces of fabric until you are completely comfortable with it. Now I'm going to put the press foot down right at the edge there. Okay. And I'm just going to sew along with it. Now, if you're not real comfortable with your machine, just go slowly, and if you start to get off track, you just lift up your presser foot and readjust. Then you'll do another strip, as many strips as you want to do at the same time. And make sure you take out your pins before you get to a spot. And that's completely fine if you need to go very slow. Then you cut between the threads. All right. Gonna open it up. Make sure it's all nice and even. Fold it out. Now before I iron, I'm going to add on the other piece and sew that. Oh, those are the short ones. Get flush. Pin them together. Okay, I'm going to sew these. Again, I'm taking my pins out as I go along. When you're guiding your fabric through, make sure you don't shove your finger in there because you will get a hole right through your finger. I have done that. Doesn't feel good. Get some nice sharp scissors to cut that with. So it's going to look like that. So pretty! I don't know what the heck this fabric is called because I got it years ago and the package fell apart. So if you're looking for this fabric, I'm not going to be any help at all. All right. Now